Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm sitting down with 4 of the 6 members from my Flesh May Fail. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Sean, I'm the bass player. I'm Matt, I do vocals.
I'm Chuck, I also do vocals.
I'm Ian, I play the theme.
So first and foremost, how you guys doing today?
Pretty good, yeah,
Doing
man.
good. I was just very curious. How did you guys form? Like, what made you guys come into the whole metalcore scene?
That's an interesting story. Me and Sean had previously, we've been in some bands before, but it'd been quite a while since after high school. We'd just been sitting around, and I went to a party with Chuck and Sean. It was like a Sweet 16 or something, and I saw my friend JB there, and we just started talking. He said he'd been writing stuff in his studio, and I don't know, we decided to meet up and just check it out and stuff, and he was like, "Oh dude, lay down some vocals," and it worked out. That was the beginning.
What was it like transferring from that whole Surf Monday thing into going to My Flesh May Fail, being all metal and just going nuts?
Our goals are kind of still the same, you know. Our goals in Surf Monday were literally just to preach the word of God, you know, and now in the metal scene we do that more because the metal scene's so much bigger than the surf scene, you know what I mean? Then really just because with Surf Monday we played in churches and stuff, and that was great, you know, and the Lord was using us, but I feel like the Lord's hand is just so strong in this group.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, the transition was really smooth, like Sean was saying, because of the goals of the band, but also just because of the way that I treated performing, I guess. So it was all the same attitude, all like glory going to God, you know.
What was that like coming up from having no shows, not being known whatsoever, to being the point where you're getting paid for a lot of the shows you're playing nowadays, where you're having a bunch of people coming in and saying your name? What's that like for you guys?
I mean, it's a little surreal just because it's happened relatively quickly, but any show, it's not that it all feels the same, but like I said earlier, because the goal's the same, we just give it to the Lord.
It's very humbling. It is humbling because the way I see it,
he could be using anyone. We're not anything special.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing is that everybody, the people in the crowd, when they know the lyrics. I think that's the best thing. It's it's just, you're not expecting it, and everybody knows all the words. It's crazy.
I kind of fell into I don't know. It was hard because I almost collapsed in this emotional. I did not expect it. When they were talking along with you, that was cool.
What do you think your favorite place to play is?
That's tough.
That is. I love every place we've played at, almost.
My favorite was Champs Grill.
That
was my favorite place.
In Trenton?
Yeah.
The one with Sirens.
That was my absolute favorite place to play.
I love that venue. Just a lot of history, and they're all about the local hardcore scene.
What do you think your favorite memory of this band has been so far?
I like practice.
Besides JB's coffee?
Oh my god. Yeah! I think my favorite memory, there's so many, but when James first came to practice, we'd never met him before. And he showed up wearing this
he looked so
a
pop-punk,
sleeve.
though,
No, he looked like a redneck. He was wearing camo pants.
Yeah, his drum set looked pop-punk.
He had a really
Yeah.
bad farmer's tan because he was a landscaper at the time. And we're like, is this guy really? And
Who is
he
this dude?
Amazing.
He was so.
Now, do you guys personally have any favorite songs off of the EP, new songs you're writing?
Favorite song to play? I gotta say Line in the Sand.
Line in the Sand's my favorite.
I love Line in the Sand.
Go Forth Go King hits so hard.
Treachery is probably my favorite.
Treachery? I would still.
I like all of them.
I know. I think I would still say Go Forth Good King just because of the long intro.
Yeah.
And you can count it in so well.
It punches so hard too when it comes in.
The one thing that I need to know, I don't know about anyone else, but in Redemption, that little solo thing.
The spoken word.
Yeah, spoken word. Now, is that?
What a word. That actually just kind of fell together.
Did you write that, or was that? Now, what's the whole story behind it?
It's kind of crazy because, we wanted to have a spoken word part to that song, and Chuck actually started writing it. He wrote the first line of it, and I forgot what it was, but I think I just kind of started writing more, and then what was it?
I definitely didn't write anything.
Somebody else.
It wasn't me.
Somebody wrote the first line as I ponder with my shallow heart.
That was me. Yeah, that was me.
Okay, well then I wrote the rest of it, and then I just ended up recording. I was like, yo, let's try this out, and I recorded it, and it just ended up great, you know. But I mean, it gets so emotional because it's really just a story from deep inside me, you know, especially with like, you know, previous struggles and stuff I've had with Fletch, and I mean, I broke down crying halfway through it. I mean, I think you can hear it on the record. You can actually hear me kind of crying, and then but after we were all kind of teary-eyed. Just how beautifully the song felt together.
This right here is apparently the mascot Louie, who I've grown a friendship with since I walked into this basement earlier today. So tell me about the whole sponsorship with Uproar Tire. How did that come about? It's actually on Chuck's shirt right now.
We were at it was the last Berlin VFW show we played, and I think it was Line in the Sand that was the song we played. And it was one of the last breakdowns, and all of a sudden Jay, which I didn't know at the time, was just some dude. And he looked rad. He came up to me and he was just like this close to my face, and he was just like, "Get everyone to the front!" And then I looked at the crowd. I was like, come to the front, and everyone did and stuff. But he was crazy. And then afterwards he approached me. He's like, "Oh, you know, I like you guys." And he wanted to hang out. And he started talking to me about his connections, which were quite extensive. And then he messaged me later and basically started talking. We just connected, honestly. Like it wasn't a whole sponsorship thing at first. We just connected on a personal level and shared a few scripture verses and just some thoughts. And eventually he messaged us, me and you, and he was like, "I want to sponsor you guys." It turned out really well. We prayed over it, and he came over, and it was just great.
Is there any new music in the works? An album? Like what's going on with music right now?
We'll be recording a new album, a full length, very soon, within the next month or two, up in Massachusetts. Primarily, it's going to be like a reboot almost of a lot of our old music, like the stuff we play live. Primarily, like the songs we decided to keep, and the rest of it's just going to be new music that no one's ever heard anyway.
Now, what about new merch? You guys have any new merch in the way?
There's gonna be some new stuff, depending on whether or not what's going down. Like we can't really talk about it yet either because this isn't fully established yet.
Yeah,
but if it does happen, you don't know what.
Oh yeah, there's been a few designs tossed around. Original stuff.
We've had
by this man, this beautiful man.
I know I tossed around a designer too.
I know, man.
I did toss around a designer too right there.
I know, dude. I love it. I love your concepts, but the ideas that have come out of it are pretty mellow, and honestly, the way I would describe it, not like in a copying kind of way, but I mean, I think the band that's done the material that's most like it would be being yeah, it's like that kind of style.
Similar,
it's just mellow,
calm.
you know? Yeah, and it's not like that. It's just mellow, like nothing visually offensive. You know?
None of the brutal logos.
Yeah,
No more.
Nothing like that.
Are there any other future plans besides music and like merch and like whatever? Like any like plans to do like a tour? Any plans to like throw your own show? Is there anything?
We have. There's been a few occasions where we've messaged some bands, and we're trying to talk and get some things together right now. But I mean, like I said, we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of plans in the works right now. So hopefully by this summer some stuff takes off. Like if everything falls into place.
Yeah,
then
we're hoping
definitely.
to. You'll definitely hear. I mean, regardless, you'll definitely hear about some tours. You will.
And we'll always play local shows because we love local shows. Locals only shows are the best.
Never forget to support your local scene.
Your local scene.
Oh, wait, can I get out my? I gotta get my bitters first.
Yeah, go.
Should we use a podcast?
What was that?
I'm sorry, what was the second half?
I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember.
Said something. Wait.
Doing it
I
through.
love
Like,
I
love when you guys.
I love you.
Could you just change things around so it looks like I started?
We probably should. We got the hang. We got the hang. I look over him at the end. I was like, "Dude, great job!" And he looks over. He goes, "That's the last of the blood." And he just wipes it off the snare. And I was like, "What? Just what? Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like
He's so pumped.
he was. He was.
When that's time to grow.